important news that we are going to take is the why is the unemployment high among the youth? This is the question. This is into the report, and that is from the one of the leading organization across the world. This is the International Labour Organization and Institute of Human Development. So you should remember that who have published this report. This is the Institute of Human Development and International Labour Organization. So very important, you should know. Okay, so the name of the report is India Employment Report 2024, and it gives a very grim picture. What is talk about? That the Indian Employment Report, this talk about that there has been an increase into the unemployment into the youth. Okay. The report notes that the proportion of India working age population, this is the working age population that is between 15 to 59, and here we see that there has been the increased from the 21 to 64%. Okay, and it is projected that this will be 64%. So working age population that is increasing. But what about the employment? Is employment is increasing? No, the employment rate has decreased and unemployment rate has increased. This is the case. Okay. Look here that 7.8 million young people, they are always there. They are each year they are entering into the labor market. For example, if there are a lot of people who are 16 years, 17 years of in 1 year they are going to enter into the working age, and if they are not going to get the employment, the number of and proportion of unemployment population will increase. This is the case. So 7-8 million. Can you imagine what is the 7-8 million? Near about the 70 and 80 lakh of the people of the youth, they are coming into the employment market. They want employment, and what is the case? The generation of employment is very minuscule. Okay, so here it is given that unemployed youth, those who are young and they are unemployed, their percentage is 83%, 82.9, this is about 83%. Okay, and in this unemployed, the educated youth, their number is very high. They are around 54%. Okay, and it has increased to the 65% by the 2022. So the percentage of unemployed youth that are educated, that has increased from the 54% in 2000 to the 65% into the 2022 during the Amrit Kal. Okay, so this is the scenario of the Amrit Kal, that how the opportunity for job this is here. Okay. The further it is talking that is the crisis the result of a lack of the job? Means whether only the job is not available. The answer is that both are the reason. One thing, job are not available, as well as if there is the job, the youth are not skilled or that much educated to suit that job. So here it has provided that a lack of job opportunity and unemployability both are the case for the unemployment. Okay. What we need a separate skill development from the formal education. The education system that we have, they are not able to provide the proper formal training for the skill development. So here this is the case that only 15% of the youth have the vocational training. What is mean by the vocational training? That is a type of the skilled training where the youth, the young people are trained to do some work that is needed in the industry. This is not just the education in the theoretical form like you are going and studying physics, chemistry, math. No. In the industry, there is need to how you have to operate the machine, how you have to operate different systems, such as even in the computer, there are a lot of other applications that normally people don't know, youth don't know, and it is not being taught into the classes. In the classes, what they are talking about the just theoretical thing and no practical use and no practical skill. So this is the case that only 15% of the youth, they have the vocational training, and in the formal manner, only 4%. This is the dire situation. Can you understand what it mean by? in the 100 youth, only 14 to 15 youth have the vocational training. Means they go on the machine, they operate, they know that how the machine operate. Otherwise, 86% out of 100, 86 of the students have not seen the machines before entering into the industry. And if you don't have the training to do your and operate on the machines, at least a training machines would be there, a small type of the just a template of the machine, they could have done something experiment, but this is not the case. Even out of this 15%, 15.62%, only 4 have the formal type of, otherwise they have the informal. They have tried to source somewhere or the loan from the this, not in the proper education system. This means the formal means in the proper manner. Okay. So you should be very clear about that. The rise of agriculture sector employment post 2019 we have seen, and even in that case, the quality of that agricultural job that was created, that is the insufficient. Okay, and majority of job that has been created was into the informal sector. So what is the informal sector? We will know what is the difference between informal sector and the formal sector, organized sector and unorganized sector. So be very clear about this thing. Okay, around the half of the formal sector job being informal as well. So first you should know what is the formal and what is the informal. Formal sector means there, let me explain here what is meant by the formal sector and informal sector. Okay, so formal sector, it means that you have a proper job certificate, job, and in that job you have the regular job salary. Regularity. Okay, regularity means you are getting the salary on the monthly basis. This is the first condition. But what will be the informal? Informal, your job, you may be getting the salary on a daily basis, daily wage, or the sometime it could be the 10 days of the contract. Some contract will be given that please complete this task, and after that your task, your job is over. So this is known as the informal. Okay, so this is the case. You should be very careful about the formal and informal, formal job and informal job. First thing is that you will have the proper salary and you will be salarized. Second thing is that you will have the security. Security such as the provident fund, and after your retirement you will have the provision that you will get some of the retirement benefits. Beside that, other safety and security such as the whenever you fall ill you will be provided with the health care services. Whenever you will have the some of the issues you will be provided with the some of the safety net. Okay, all there will be the properly enumerated number of the leaves, and yes, what will be the job condition. If there will be the firing or anything such like that, there will be the notification, there will be the committee that will constituted, and they will know that actually you are performing, underperforming, or what is the case. Otherwise, in the informal sector, you will have the nothing, no notice, no committee. You will just get that we don't need furthermore, don't come from the tomorrow, take your money, get away, get lost, something or like the attitude of the employer. This is generally, and that's why it has given that the 90% of the job that has been created into the informal sector. And if you will go into the deep sense that whether what they are implementing in the ground, you will find this percentage is not 90, but it will be 95. Even though who talks about that they are formal sector in the private sector, many a times there is no job security. They give the salary, but there is no PF and other such thing. Okay, so this is the condition in the reality. So this is the condition in the Indian scenario. So here it is given that what is the formal sector. This is generally they have the salary, they will be registered companies and the corporation, government job is comes under the formal sector. Okay, and manufacturing units that has the very large scale. Okay, so this is the condition. Informal sector, that is the lack of official regulation, they will be not registered, unstructured and small scale. Okay, and there is the vulnerability that the workers can be fired and they could be treated in any manner, low income, job insecurity, all that so forth into the informal sector. There has been the example of the informal sector such as the street vendor or the small scale unregistered workshop, domestic worker. This is a very good example of informal sector. Domestic workers, they don't have the paid salary, even they have the salary, this is not regular, any times you can fire, and yes, there is no security such as the retirement thing is no existence. They will laugh if you will talk about the retirement benefit into the domestic workers or the those who are working into the agriculture field. So this is the condition. So the second question comes that what is the unorganized sector? So here you are talking very specific to a person's job. But when you talk about the unorganized, so it is the industry that is talking about, the industry where there is the no regulation. And there is the very similarity between the informal sector and unorganized. Organized sector is that where proper government regulation is there. There is the registration of the companies, but many a times there is companies, they do not have the registration with the government. There is no such proper structuring of their units. They are working on a small scale. They will be unorganized sector. So here it has provided that what will be the unorganized sector. So mostly they are the sector where the less than 10 workers in the total they are working. Okay, and it includes the self-employed, casual workers, and workers across the different sectors, such as we talk about the domestic workers, help, and labor. They are working into the field. Okay, small scale and the lack of the formal structure in the businesses, that is the main thing. Okay, so minimum wage or the tax laws that is not followed, lack of the social protection, such as there will be the no PF or the no job security, you will be fired anytime. Okay, so here again the vulnerability of the employment is there into the unorganized sector. So this is the similarity, but the only difference is that in the many a case, so even into the formal sector, there could be the informal employed. Maybe the company is registered with the government, but the few of the employed, they are working there on to the contract basis or on the daily wage basis. So this is the difference, means the difference between the those who are working into the formal sector but their job is informal. Okay, so here you should be very careful about we are talking about the employee as well as the company and industry. Company or the industry. So be very careful. Here you can understand that there could be the company that is the formal company that is registered with the government, but those employee that is working into this company can be informal. Informal means they are not registered, they are not on the payroll of the company. There could be the 2,000 of the worker working in a company, and maybe out of 2,000, 1,000 are the formal employee and 1,000 could be informal. They are just getting the contract that you are contracted for the 6 months, 8 months. Okay. For example, there could be the security forces and they are not directly recruited. They are just on the contract basis. Maybe after 6 months, 1 year, they could be not needed furthermore, and there will be the no formal law process of the firing. Okay, so this is the condition. You should be very careful that what is difference between formal, informal, organized and inorganized. Organized and inorganized is always the companies, industry. They are not registered with the government. They are working in the casual manner. Okay, so maybe there could be the company that is one of the company that is working into the rack picking or the waste management. Maybe that is not registered with the government, and it has employed the different type of the workers, and there is no proper whatever the rules that is followed for the labor law. So this could be the unorganized sector. Okay, so you should be very careful about this thing. Next thing we are going to talk is Next thing that we will talk about the what is the quality of employment. So here we will talk about the what is the quality of employment. You will find that the maximum of the employed person, even in the regular work, they are not getting the minimum wage, that is the 480. Okay, so this is here it is given that a significant proportion, they are not giving the minimum wage of 480 per day in the unskilled labor. Okay, so you should be very careful about that. Beside that, look here, it is the regular worker that is the 41%, and 51% of the casual worker, they are not receiving the minimum wage. That is the quality, that is the condition of those who are working. Again, there is the only 9% who are employed. They are the into the formal sector. They have the benefit and yes, they have the security, social security and the benefit. Okay, so this is the case, and maximum we see that the those who are have the better quality, who are from the southern state, western and the northeastern state. It means that those who are into the central and the states such as the UP and Bihar, the youth here, they are the suffering most of the unemployment cases and the quality of the job cases. Okay. Scarcity of the job into the formal sector. The thing is that why the scarcity? One of the policy of the government is that after the retirement, 1/3 of the seat will be cut. For example, if there is some job department and there is the 100 seat, and after the 100 seat, 100 people are working, when the 100 people have the completed it's the retirement period, after that new recruitment, out of 100 only 33 recruitment is being done. That is the policy. This is creating the job loss. Beside that, there has been the increase into the contractual and the consultancies. Contextual employment means you do not have the proper salaried, and you will have not the followed as per the labor law, that you will, are permanently on the payroll of the company. You will be hired for the 1 or 2 years. After that, if the work is not needed, you will be not further engaged. You will be there will be no continuation of your work. The same is that the consultancy is there. They are providing different type of services. Just take an example of the security services. There are a lot of the consultancy. They hire and they provide for the different other companies. So third party is coming, and that's why the proper formal job is not able to being created. Okay. The other thing that is cause of concern is the gender gap into the labor law market. So here we see that due to the low female rate participation into the labor law, labor force participation into the labor market, particularly for the women, there is a low labor force participation rate for the female, and that's why there is the lot of difference between those who are being work into the gender gap. For example, there are the 3 times more men are working as compared to the women. This is here the case, 3 times higher than the young women. This is the case. Okay. And a large proportion of the young individual, especially women, are not engaged into the better education, training and the skilling. So here is the case that if they are not going to the getting the education, training and the skilling, there will be the loss of the job, there will be the gap, and that's why this is the continuous trend. We have seen that the continuous decrease into the labor force participation for the women and in employment between the 2012 to 2019, and after 2019 there was a little bit increase into this trend that has been followed. Okay. What is the main thing that suggestion that has been suggested by the international level organization, that there should be a proper crafting policies for to boost the women's participation. The second thing we can do, the providing institutional care facility. Here, institutional care facility is important because when they have to take care of their kids during the working time, if there is the providing institutional care facility, in that case they will get the chance to work there. Okay, and there will be the institution that can care their children and other such need where the women's are involved. suitable work arrangement. The employer should provide the proper environment, tool, skilling and other such thing that is suitable to the women. Many a times women do not find their work as per their gender suitable to that particular work. For example, take into the case of the farming. There are the tools that are made for the participation of the men, not for the women, and women are not able to handle the things. For example, if they have to do harvesting, the harvesting machine are made as per the suitable to the men, not the women. Okay, there are other such need that could be provided for the improvement in the women participation. For example, they could be provided with the salary whenever they are facing some of the issues that are associated with the women's. Okay, after that should be the implementation where the equal participation from the government and the private players should be into the this maternity leave benefit. So all these things that could be seen that could impact the women participation. So what are the recommendations that has been provided? The recommendation in the report that has provided in the different area, for example, the 5 mission that has talked about to address this unemployment scenario. The first is that make the production and the growth labor intensive. Here it is talking about the employment intensive. For example, the industries such as the leather making or the shoe industry or the apparel making or the food processing, all these are the industry where the more labor are needed to work as compared to the investment and the outcome and the gross investment. Okay. Here we need to improve the quality of the job, where the salaries and the condition. For example, we study that what is the condition in the different area. They are getting the fatigue is very high. Their safety is not taken in the care. So all these things need to be cared, overcome the labor market inequalities, enhance the effectiveness of the skill training. So here we need to work into the educational system and yes, the paradigm on the education that has been provided to our youth. Okay, so here we need to bridge the gap between the knowledge and the need of the industry. So this is the recommendation. Integration of the employment creation and economic policy. So we need to focus on those areas where the more and more industry could be developed. Okay, so we can support the MSMEs and promote the decentralization so that there could be the equal spread of the job. It should be the job that should be available into the UP as well as Bihar as well as into the Karnataka. It should not be concentrated in one or two states like the Gujarat or the Tamil Nadu or the Karnataka, but it should spread across the different region within the region as well. In the UP, it should not be concentrated in one or two cities. There should be the provision that the job should be decentralized in such a manner that the job is available into the district of the Kushinagar as well as the Noida or the Kanpur or the Bareilly. Okay, so everywhere there should be the decentralization so that we could have the job. Okay. As the large number of the population that are involved into the agriculture, that's why we need to improve the agriculture productivity as well as the creation of the non-farm job. We got in the agriculture there is the limitation to observe the number of the workers. After that, there is no such thing. Okay. We also need to promote the entrepreneurship to stimulate the job creation. It should not be the tendency that you always go to search for the job. Maybe you can start some industry where the job can be created and you can give the job to the others. Again, the women's related improvement. We know that there is the need for the boost the women's participation and also the minimum quality of employment that is suitable to the women also should be promoted, and rapid integration of youth with the labor market. So there should be the mismatch between there should be the removal of the mismatch between the whatever the skill we are purchasing and what is the need of the industry. So rapid skill development should be there, and also there should be the ensure the rapid integration of youth into the labor market. So all these things we need to promote. So this is all about from this news that we have covered.